22047 is the SMS short code, the hashtag #say, and Jael Kunga is already here with us, clinical officer with Maristops. Jael, thank you so much for creating time to be with us. And we shift gears to a very important conversation that perhaps we should be having day in, day out. And we're not going to focus much on what the finance bill has been about and, the raise of prices in relation to, pads and all that. I think that perhaps is just a conversation that should be held at another level. But here we are just, seeking to understand, what are the faces of a girl? How should we prepare our girls to some of these faces? And even up until this level, as you grow old, there's always the next phase that you're about to get to, perhaps with zero understanding of what to expect and everything. Could you please take us through what would be the main phases of a girl's life that, we need to be alert to? Okay.
There are phases that we as girls or women, we go through. So from childhood, we go to puberty to pregnancy, maternity, then up to menopause. Okay. Yeah, so during puberty, it begins from the age of 8 to 13. It's just physical and hormonal changes that we ladies or the women you experience as we get into from childhood to adulthood. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. What are some of the experiences? Of course, we'd want to imagine that we have gone through all this. But then the question would be, even as we highlight these experiences, are they different for different people? Are they the same? If we're going to get into a class and tell girls this is what to expect, do we expect that they'll be talking about 101% similar cases?
The changes that you experience as a lady, they are different. So you'd say they are different. They vary from one person to another. So and there are stages that they are there in the puberty. So there's stage 1 that there's no any physical changes that we experience, and then stage 2 there are few physical changes that you experience. That for example, breast buds coming out, height increases, and there is your skin becoming very oily, and that is acne and all that. Yeah. And they vary from one person to another. And there's that early puberty, and there's also late puberty. And what I just want to urge mothers or sisters or aunties out there, if you experience your sweet girl, just all of a sudden they just change, you finding moody, eating disorders and all that, you shouldn't be mean to them. Just give them a safe space and talk to them and tell them this is normal, and when they need to ask you, when they need to approach you for that help. So we should just ignore them and tell them that you're being so mean these days and all that. And we should have it in mind that there are normal physical and hormonal changes that we also went through. Yeah.
All right. Before we even get to the other phases, or perhaps wind up on this particular one on puberty, just what are some of the similarities that one is likely to experience in all these phases that we're talking about?
Mostly it's menstruation. Yeah.
All right, and then basically across, puberty, maternity, menopause, are there some similarities of some of the things that we get to experience? If we're going to talk about emotions, if we're going to talk about, psychological aspects to this, if we're going to talk about, the physical aspects to it.
Yeah.
They are?
Yeah.
What are some of these ones that we would speak about?
The changes that they're specific in same people. Okay, I didn't get your question right.
All right, I'm saying before we even get to the other steps, I know we are at that puberty level, and maybe we might not need to highlight so much so in relation to the nitty-gritty details. Are there, some of these features that would perhaps be seen across all the stages that we're talking about, if it's puberty, if it is, maternity or pregnancy level, and even menopause?
Yeah. They are the same.
There are others. There are some of them that actually would be almost the same.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. We are talking to girls. Do you suppose we speak so much so of enlightening the girl child in relation to this? Do we need to make more noise? Or?
Yeah. We should make more and more noise, because most girls out there, they are not informed. So we need to create more awareness to them and tell them that these things are especially if they are normal. And if they are not normal, where should they go? What should they do? Who should they approach to tell them that whatever you experience is not normal, and this is the next step that you should be taking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Puberty then is that flower that prepares us for, the phase of pregnancy, for the phase of maternity. And we also understand that we have some of us who actually get to experience challenges in siring or, in perhaps getting babies for for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that one could, look at and say that these are red flags? Perhaps maybe I need to get, medical checkup just to confirm that I am okay, and as a woman, I'd be ripe to get a child or to sire.
Okay, I think that we women or ladies or girls out there should watch out for is, for instance, if you already started your menses and you're experiencing a lot of pain, that pain that you will keep you from your work or will keep you from your school, then yes, you need to consult and find a solution. And then if your periods are like the cycle is very longer than the usual, normal is around 21 to 35 days. So if it's more than 35 days, at least should call for help. And again, if they are very, very heavy, like you're having a very heavy bleeding or you're having bleeding in between your periods, then at least those are the signs and symptoms that you should seek for help. Yeah.
This generally involves the reproductive system.
Exactly, yeah.
Perhaps take us to the next phase, which would be then pregnancy as well as maternity. In as much as we'd want to, speak about the concerns, and I know we have endometriosis, these are numerous cases. Let us jump into the phase of maternity. Let us jump into the phase of pregnancy now that we are out of puberty. What would you say about it?
About pregnancy?
Yes.
Pregnancy, it's a good thing. And as long as you're ready for it, it's the best experience you can ever experience. And we, as Maristops, we are there for you. All over the country, we have our clinics that we offer antenatal visits. Antenatal visits, it's the visit that a woman that is pregnant goes to the clinic, we do some tests and all that. And then once you've reached to that weeks or the month that you're going to bear your child, then we have a nursing home that you're going to get delivery. Yeah. All
right. Let us assume there's a mother or there's a girl who has just noticed that they are pregnant, or perhaps has tested and confirmed that they are pregnant. What are the phases that they will go through? What should they anticipate for? What should they look forward for? What should they get worried about? In as much as we would advise them to, attend the clinics.
Okay. So once you realize that you're pregnant, there are those early symptoms that you will experience. So the early symptoms that are normal, that you shouldn't be worried, is nausea, vomiting, those morning sickness, and then again cramping, and breast tenderness. Yeah, so those are very, very normal. Dizziness, headache, they sometimes happen, but if they're so severe, now you don't just assume that they are normal, they are morning sickness, then that time you need to seek for help. Okay. And then during the clinics, you will be given a health education on what the danger signs in pregnancy. So what if you experience should come back? So you don't have to wait for the dates that you are given to come back. So for example, if you are at around 8 weeks, that's 2 months or 3 months, and you're experiencing bleeding, then at least you should come back for a checkup.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are symptoms that are, there are signs that are normal, and there are those signs that are not normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the stages of pregnancy, which are very, very important. In that, if one feels like, perhaps I am missing out on this stage, then they should get worried. Or perhaps when they are taking it easy and they can evidently see that, week 13, week 14, week 26, all looks like it's good, then they should sit pretty.
So the stage of pregnancy, we do call them trimesters. So we have first, second, and third trimester. So first trimester is up to 12 weeks. So within 12 weeks, like I said before, those early symptoms, they are more common in the first 12 weeks. So if you experience anything outside the morning sickness, then you should seek for help. And the second trimester is around 14 weeks to up to around 20 weeks. So that time, the morning sickness symptoms, they are expected not to be there. They're expected to reduce now. You shouldn't be experiencing those unless for the nausea and vomiting, if it's mild or moderate, then that's okay. And then again, the third trimester, now that time you are almost to the delivery. Yeah.
Okay. We're talking about physical changes, which sometimes are notable to some people. To some people, you will not even notice that they probably are pregnant. Before you know it, they tell you they have a baby, and you're like, mbona haikuwa inaonekana and all that. Is that something to get someone worried if perhaps they do not get to experience, notable physical changes? Yeah,
it should get you worried, especially if you're around, let's say you are 5 or 6 months, and then your belly has produced a yet. For some people, it's normal, but for you to say that it's normal or not, when you're going for those clinics, you'll be doing something called the obstetric scan, ultrasound. So ultrasound will check the well-being of your baby. So you'll check where the baby is and the expected fetal weight, because at each gestation, at each weeks or months of the pregnancy, there's expected weight that your baby should weigh. So however, how much your belly looks small or big, as long as the fetus has the right weight, then there's no need to worry about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means clinic after clinic.
Yeah. So the clinics, they are preferred. It's advisable you do them every 4 weeks.
Every 4 weeks.
Yeah. So for us, we do offer 8 visits in each. That means after every 4 weeks. But if you come to a clinic and then you've seen by a doctor and there's something like pressure or something to worry about, you don't need to wait for 4 weeks. So we do give them every 2 weeks.
Okay.
So in short, with the clinics, you will be told whether you're good or you're not good, and what to do if you're not good. Yeah.
All right, there's a question here from Wairimu. Wairimu says that, Linda, could you please ask this question for me? I have been on depot for close to 10 years now, and of course I have removed it and ready to proceed and get pregnant. They have advised me to go for pregnant care, or this iron tablets. Just how important are they?
Okay, depot is a 3-month injection. It has progesterone, and the side effects, just as any other hormonal contraceptives, it will affect your weight and your menses. And your menses, that means your hormonal imbalance issues. So once you've stopped using it, and we know another side effect that it has, it might delay fertility up to 1 year. For someone that has used it and she wants to conceive more of the same immediately, yes, it's okay for her to proceed with the folic supplements and the pregnant care. Yeah.
Also, these iron tablets are the folic supplements.
The iron and the folic, the same thing.
They're more or less the same
Yeah,
thing.
so the tablet that has the same iron, iron and the folic, and the one that has just folic, and then the pregnant care.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, proceed.
So they are just supplements to enhance you getting pregnant after using a contraceptive method.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the mood. I mean, emotional changes, which are very, very important. And, you know, one would actually look at us having this conversation tonight and probably wonder just how crucial and important it is. And we all agree that it's very important because, I mean, after every time, there's always a girl who's undergoing, you know, the stages that we're talking about. So let's talk about these emotional changes, especially for the pregnant women. And is there a way that one then can get to balance them, such that we all are aware that, yes, there's some emotions, mood swings that are going on in me, but then we can try and balance them?
Medically, there's no any medicine can use to balance that because they are just normal physiological changes that happens to any other pregnant woman.
Okay.
So there's no any other thing you can do. If it comes, just feel overwhelmed and all that. So there's no specific thing you can do to change that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Post that. Post that, how do you manage yourself as a woman? I mean, are there any, again, notable changes physically, emotionally, and all that? After? Post, yeah.
Yeah, postpartum, yes, this change. Physically, you might realize a significant weight loss or weight gain for some people. So it depends with someone. Then emotionally, there's that thing called postpartum depression for some people. For some people, they just feel well after the delivery. Yeah.
All right. Karemi here says, Linda, I lost so much weight the moment I got my baby, and equally my hair. I experienced a bit of hair loss. They always told me that it has something to do with breastfeeding. Is it true?
Yeah. During breastfeeding, especially if you do the exclusive one, the first 6 months, it has been noticed that a number of women, they happen to lose their hairline, like the hair breaks. So if you happen to brush it off, you'll see that they're falling off, and that is very, very common during breastfeeding.
All right.
So, yeah, it happens.
I'm curious to ask this, how long, because there's also another question here from Linda, just like me. She says, I lost my memory, you know, and have lost it for the longest of time. My little boy is 9 years old now. Sometimes I am thrown into supplements, you know, vitamin Bs and everything, but still I cannot manage this. What could be the problem?
Lost memory after delivery?
Yes.
Okay. So I suspect that woman must have gone through postpartum depression.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I think it's just basic. Perhaps you would tell us how intense it is.
Yeah, how intense it is. And if she already went to see a psychologist and other cause, yes.
And you see, she says it's been 9 years now.
So yes, it means even if she saw a psychologist, it isn't working. So maybe she should call for more help.
All right.
To find out why it happened and why it's taking that long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Menopause. Perhaps the greatest fear for very many women, one that people don't get to speak much about, but I am told there's a lot of activities that play out, you know, when you get to that stage, emotionally, hormonal, speak of, you know, physically and all that.
So to begin with menopause, for you to just know that you've reached that menopause, you as a woman should have realized that you've not seen your period for 12 months. So 12 months.
Okay,
so that's
12 months.
That's a year.
Okay.
So you can miss 3 months, then they're back again.
Okay.
2 months, they're back again, just hormonal imbalance or maybe premenopausal symptoms. But the moment you've missed 12, just know that you are there.
Okay.
And I know, so most women, they are not ready for that. And then there are other symptoms that accompany not just missing your period. For that period should let you know that you're already in the menopause stage. So other symptoms or signs that you could see, the hot flashes, anxiety, and then just irritated. Most of them are just irritated and all that. And night sweats, weight loss or weight, it could be, someone could gain, someone could lose. It depends, yeah.
What ages are we looking at in this case?
Around in your 40s or in your 50s, we expect that you will start getting to your menopause. Yeah.
All right, so that means the moment you get to that level, say, let's talk about this missing of your periods for about 3 months and everything. Are you able to get a child in the process if...
Yeah, you
still can get child.
Yeah,
so as long as it's now clearly 12 months,
12
when
months,
you're certain that this is the thing. Eh?
Exactly, yeah.
All right, so what changes are we looking at, body-wise? For a woman, do they grow big? For others, do they grow small? Or what exactly?
During menopause, with the weight depends with some people. For some people during their menopause, they gain weight. Some people, they lose. Yeah. So with weight depends with some, but you can in the data we have, or in all the women out there, they can experience either. Yeah.
All right. Maureen here is asking, when I get to that stage of menopause, do I have my sexual desire going down?
Yeah, I was forgetting that. Yes.
Oh, it
the
goes
sexual
down.
desire goes down for women.
For women.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so how do you manage this? Because, I mean, you have a husband there, and therefore you still have to survive it somehow. Yeah? Medically, or perhaps just...
medically, I don't think there's a way. Yeah.
All right.
So maybe you just have to work it around.
You have to work it around.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, of course, we've talked about, or we've spoken about different stages here. We're looking at the emotional changes that then a woman would get to experience. What is this one person that you would tell the person that is watching us tonight, any woman that is watching us tonight, perhaps a young one, or that one who is, of course, middle age, or that one that is old, especially as we try to make sure that our girls understand these stages and they're not lost in between?
As for any woman or any young girl watching out there today, I just want to let them know that Marisops is here for you. We are here for you through all the stages. Right now we're having a campaign of which we're running. We are redoing every stages. That's from puberty, from the first time you see your menses through to your menopause. So it doesn't mean that whatever you're experiencing is normal. There's an advert right now on Citizen TV. If you've ever watched it, it says that whatever you're experiencing, maybe you missed your period or you're having it. So if it's not normal or if you're not sure, just call. And we have our contacts. There's a toll-free number that you can call. It's working weekdays around 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. And then weekends it's from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Right.
So just feel free. Our doors are always open for you, and we are with you through it all.
And that's a toll-free number. Yeah. Of course, we're looking forward to have the advertisement as well run on TV 47 so that we can reach as many people as possible.
Yeah, sure.
Asante sana, Jael Kunga, for speaking to us. Jael Kunga is a clinical officer with Maristops. We're just looking at the basics, in relation to the life of a girl, those stages that you probably would want to understand some more about. Like she says, they are open to answer the numerous questions that are still coming. But at this point, we must close it because shortly we get to dance, or to the dancing moves. Of course, the reggae lovers, in a beat, you will be experiencing that. But for